Good afternoon, Jeff Dawson again, Amazon best-selling author, Love's True Second Chance, Why Did Everything Happen, Living with Breast Cancer, and 16 other fine works. I did a post this afternoon about collegiate social warriors, and I was focusing on Division I coaches in the schools and how much money they are making off of the backs of the kids that they recruit to play football for them. I got pretty fired up in that one. Well, when I was done, I decided to do a little more digging, and I'm going to give you some numbers, and these are all in billions, not millions, billions. 39.2, 29.4, 26.4, 25.4, 16.4, 13.7, 12, 11.7, 11, 10.8, for a total of $196 billion. Well, what exactly is that? I'll tell you what it is. It's the endowment funds of the following colleges: Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Princeton, MIT, Penn, Texas A&M, University of Michigan, Notre Dame, and Columbia. Half of those are Ivy League schools, which is fine. $196 billion, and that's only 10 schools. Now, I could take the time and do a list of the top 20, the top 30, the top 40, but that is kind of pointless. These 10 schools, $196 billion. What are you doing with your money? The Ivy League schools of late have been known for being extremely liberal. It's just the way it is. Whether it's right or wrong, that's just the way it is. And they support the current movement in the United States of BLM, getting rid of racism, police reform, all the hot topics. What the hell have y'all been doing with your money? You got $196 billion in a war chest. What have you done to help the communities around you? What have you done to help the poor neighborhoods pull themselves out of poverty? What have you done to help eliminate the urban plight in the major cities you're around? What have you done to help promote a failed public education school system in the communities that you represent? What have you done? I'm not interested in your surveys, in your polls, in your committees, in your think tanks. I'm not interested in any of that shit. I want to know, what have you done? Well, by the war chest you've built up, not a damn thing. I don't care about the 501c's that you've set up, which I discussed in my previous video, which we know how that works. You set up a 501c, you have a board of directors, everybody gets extremely overpaid, and the money that was allocated to take care of a neighborhood or a food bank or a failed public housing project, if a tenth of it goes to it, you did really good. And everybody walks around and waves their flags and has their champagne dinners and their big banquets and their big balls and spends tens of thousands of dollars so they can congratulate each other and be proud of doing nothing. Oh, but you feel good. Well, I don't give two shits about that. Because the people in those communities that are suffering got nothing. You want to make a difference? $196 billion. You don't think you could appropriate 25% of that to help out the urban plight of the cities that you were in or the communities surrounding it? You don't think you can go in and use that money to restore dilapidated buildings, to flatten and haul off condemned buildings? You could, and you can, but you don't have the spine or the testicle fortitude to do it because, that took money out of our budget. Do you know how far $1 billion Harvard could do around Boston? And I don't want to hear that it's a city problem, that it's a county problem, it's a state problem. It should be your problem. You all claim to care for the oppressed, the downtrodden, those who have been deprived of quality education because the public schools have failed. What have you done to help improve the public schools? And I don't want to hear, well, we pay taxes. How's that working out? Well, it isn't. Now, is it? And this is why we have charter schools springing up across the United States. And the one in Texas is called IDEA. I'll look them up. That is a phenomenal organization that started with a couple of teachers realizing the public school system was failing their students. So they came up with an idea, they focused on education, a well-rounded education, and they are building schools across the state of Texas with private money, not a dime of federal funds or state funds or county funds is going to these. And it's affordable. And it is being successful. And this was started by a man with a dream without $39 billion in his war chest. So when are you colleges going to shut up and put up? And I can throw 4 from Oklahoma. My alma mater, Oklahoma State, University of Oklahoma, Tulsa University, and Oral Roberts. When are you 4 going to stand up? I've been in Stillwater. I've seen the good neighborhoods. I've seen the bad neighborhoods. This university isn't hurting. Go to Norman. Go to Oklahoma City. You got good neighborhoods. You got bad neighborhoods. How much money is OU donating to help out and rebuild these neighborhoods and bring up the standards of education? Tulsa University and Oral Roberts are in the city of Tulsa. Yes, the city that everyone has been getting excited about because of Juneteenth of the 1921 race riot. I lived in Tulsa. North Tulsa is still in urban plight. Why? You have 2 major universities with a massive war chest. What are you doing to correct the issues? Nothing. In fact, Oklahoma State has opened up a medical school in Tulsa. OU has opened a new facility in Tulsa. You've got money to do that. And yes, it does create jobs for those who have a degree. or a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate. Yes, those people are going to be living and making money and contributing to the economy. But what about those folks north of the 244 loop? How much money have you used to help in improvements in North Tulsa? And I'm not talking about going out and painting a church or fixing up one house. Hell, Jimmy Carter can do that. At 90 years old, he was still swinging a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. He is a doer. What are you? From what I can see, you don't do anything. I'm in Dallas, Texas. We have SMU. Fort Worth has TCU. Those aren't cheap schools to go to. And no, I didn't take the time to look up what their endowment is. But I can tell you where their money isn't going to. It isn't going to East Fort Worth. You've been to East Fort Worth? My granddaughters played a tournament last weekend off of Berry and Cockrell Hill. I have done jobs in that neighborhood. It is a bad neighborhood. That was 30 years ago. And you know what has improved? Nothing. I call my daughter. She hears gunshots. That's normal down there. I have friends who live in South Dallas, Southeast Dallas, in what's called Pleasant Grove. The neighborhood they live in on the north side of 175 isn't bad, but the neighborhood they grew up in on the south side of 175 is a war zone. I've known these people 35 years. And you know what's changed down there? Nothing. I've looked at jobs in South Dallas. And you know what changed down there? Nothing. So if you colleges are going to jump on this social warrior bandwagon that is sweeping across the United States, then you damn well need to get off your ass and start helping the problem. Have you ever been to the fair in Dallas, the Texas State Fair? You damn well don't want to be there when the lights go down and when the sun sets. I went to this is going to put a bad taste in my mouth, the OU Texas rivalry. Yes, the Red River Shootout. I had back surgery. No, let me back up. I worked for a company. The owner asked me if I wanted to go to the game. I mean, I go to OSU. What do I care about OU Texas? I don't give two shits about them. But I had a friend, Joyce, who had never been. She went to OU, and I asked her if she'd ever made it to the football game. She said, well, they tried 3 times, but she never got in the stadium. So just as I was on the cusp of telling my boss no, I said, no, yes, I'll take those tickets. Joyce lived in Norman, and we were friends in high school. We dated a little bit, and I thought, okay, this might be nice. She comes down for the game. God, that was 80,000, the most irritating people I'd ever been around in my life, but that's irrelevant. We go to the game. It ends 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She wants to go to the fair. Okay, so we go to the fair. I'm not thinking. Where I parked was about 6 blocks from the fairgrounds, west of the fairgrounds, and I think it was Malcolm X Boulevard or one of the side streets. As we walked back to my truck, it was about 10 o'clock. And I had a major brain fart. I don't know what I was thinking, but I definitely wasn't. Fair Park is one of the worst areas in the city of Dallas. An officer never said a word to us. He saw us exit the park, and he escorted us all the way down to my truck and waited for us to get in for me to start it and leave. And Joyce looked at me and goes, "What was that all about?" And as I said earlier, I said, "Well, I had a major brain fart. I forgot what part of town we were in, especially when the sun goes down." So what has the university done to help this area? Zero. So my point of this rant, because that's really what it is, these universities that are clamoring for change, that want good race relations, they want to improve community relations with police. Well, when are you going to get involved with the community? When are you going to appoint one person to go into those communities, scope them out, see what it looks like, see what help they need, and then take the responsibility of fixing the problem? Because the city of Dallas sure the hell can't do it. The city of Fort Worth sure the hell can't do it. Boston, New York, Baltimore, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati, Toledo. Do you want me to go through the whole damn list? Richmond? When are you university presidents and board regents going to wake up? Because the only way there is going to be tangible results in these impoverished communities is for you all to get off your duff, get involved, and start helping. Because if you aren't willing to do that, then do us all a big favor and just shut the hell up.